from Southwest Florida's news source. This is Fox 4 News at 6.
It's definitely not sober.
Really?
Definitely not sober.
Now at 6, raising questions about the sobriety of the pickup driver who plowed into this Cape Coral pool hall with deadly results. Plus,
we don't know what happened, if she just really left or if somebody picked her up or what could possibly happen.
The mystery deepens. Friends paying their respects to a young Lee County woman found dead in a local river. But how did she end up there?
increasing concern tonight about Dunbar Community School, why your kids are now unable to take a very important test. But first,
4 in your corner following breaking news out of Fort Myers. Charges have just been dropped against the 2 suspects accused in the senseless murder of a little boy last October. Thomas Edison and Terrence Irons are both free men tonight.
5-year-old Andrew Faust was killed by a stray bullet during a drive-by shooting on Cuba Street that's in the Dunbar community. 4 in your corner was there in May as the 2 men accused of the shooting, Irons and Edison, were released from the Lee County jail. This after the state's only witness claims she no longer remembered seeing them there the night of the shooting.
4 in your corner's Lisa Greenberg joining us live from downtown Fort Myers, where the state attorney's office just made this announcement. She has the latest for us tonight. Lisa.
Patrick and Amy, officials here say it is a heartbreaking day here at the state attorney's office, but really it's a heartbreaking day for the Dunbar community. Now, the state attorney's office was forced to drop the charges against Thomas Edison and Terrence Irons, the 2 men accused of killing 5-year-old Andrew Faust in a drive-by shooting in Dunbar back in October. Edison and Irons were arrested just weeks after Andrew's death after an eyewitness claimed she saw the 2 men at the scene. That witness later told prosecutors she no longer remembered what happened the night of Andrew's death. Well, it turns out now the state attorney has to drop the charges against those 2 men because they can no longer prove beyond a reasonable doubt that they were the 2 responsible for Andrew's death.
There was one eyewitness to the killing of Andrew Faust Jr. That eyewitness has since come to a deposition and said that she could not remember what happened. At this point, we have no eyewitness that we can put on the stand, and therefore we're unable to go forward with our case. We can't prove it.
She goes on to say the police department and the state attorney's office have been working hard to come up with other evidence and other eyewitnesses. And coming up at 6:30, I'll show you why it will be difficult for them to ever move forward with these 2 men if more evidence does come up. For now, we are live in Fort Myers. Lisa Greenberg, Fox 4, in your corner.
He was such a wonderful man.
Really?
He was always so nice and so kind and just a nice neighbor.
A nice neighbor, a wonderful father and husband, the 60-year-old Cape Coral man being remembered tonight after a horrifying death at this pool hall where he worked, a pickup truck plowing through, pinning him to the bar.
Ron Gravel was a dishwasher at Diamond Billiards on Pine Island Road. His happy life came to a crashing end yesterday afternoon.
Well, tonight witnesses are telling us the 75-year-old driver of the pickup, William Gulliver, was served at least 2 beers and was groping at the waitresses inside and was asked to leave Diamonds just moments before he got behind the wheel of that truck and drove straight into the bar.
Now, 4 in your corner's Warren Wright is live at the pool hall where Ron's co-workers are still in shock tonight. Warren.
That's right. They told me they are simply too broken up to talk about Ron on camera. Now, last night, a car smashed through one of these windows and injured 2 other people. But tonight, all they can seem to stay focused on is the man that they've loved and lost.
The number of cars filling Ron Gravel's front yard say something about just how many people loved him. And they still can't believe how he died. A pickup truck plowing through Diamond Billiards, where Ron was a cook. The truck pinning him to the bar. Neighbors fight back tears as they picture such a gruesome death for such a loving guy.
He's a nice man. He was nice to us.
A really good neighbor.
Yes, very. Any time that I needed some help, he would always help me.
Back at the pool hall, co-workers hug each other and describe him much the same way, someone who always laughed and brought a smile to everyone around him. But those smiles turned to terror as Ron found himself caught in the truck's path.
It sounded like exactly like a tornado. It was a loud bang. It was a big whoosh.
Upon arrival, we found a pickup truck submerged about 50 feet inside the structure.
I asked witnesses to describe the driver, William Gulliver, at the time of the crash.
He was definitely not sober.
Really?
Definitely not sober, no.
Gulliver lives in St. James City. I walked up the steps to his house and knocked on his door. He refused to answer any questions. Meanwhile, as boards cover up the damage left by Gulliver's truck and flowers rest on a nearby bench, mourning the loss of a man loved by so many people.
I'm going to miss him.
Right now, the KPD is investigating and no arrests have been made, but there is a GoFundMe site that's been set up to pay for the funeral expenses. If you want to find out more about that, just go to our website and click on this story. Reporting live in Cape Coral, Warren Wright for In Your Corner.
We don't know what happened, if she just really left or if somebody picked her up or what could possibly happen. We have all these thoughts running through our minds.
A tragic end to a desperate search for a missing Fort Myers woman. Lee County deputies say they found the body of 25-year-old Chelsea Green late last night inside her car, which was submerged in the Caloosahatchee River under the State Road 31 bridge. This 3 days after she vanished. For In Your Corner's Malcolm Johnson joining us live from the bridge where friends and family have been leaving cards and flowers all day. Malcolm.
Amy, this is the sad and tragic outcome that nobody wanted to hear. When Chelsea first went missing on Friday, search crews, her friends and family went looking for her for hours right in this area. Didn't find anything, didn't know anything. It wasn't until last night when the Lee County Sheriff's Office divers team found that white Dodge right behind me in the Caloosahatchee River. One by one, people came to drop off flowers near the State Road 31 bridge.
I felt the need to come out and pay our respects as a community. We don't see that very often.
Just beyond the flowers and this dock, the Lee County Sheriff's Office dive team found the white Dodge belonging to 25-year-old Chelsea Green in the Caloosahatchee River. The Lee County Sheriff's Office hasn't confirmed the body found is Green, but her family tells me it is. Missing since Friday. Co-workers at the Smoking Pit began fearing the worst.
We don't know what happened, if she just really left or if somebody picked her up or what could possibly happen. We have all these thoughts running through our minds that we just don't know what to think anymore.
She called her brother 3 times Friday night after leaving a friend's house, then sent him a locator text showing her to be near the Wilson Pickett Bridge in Fort Myers Shores. Her family tells me she had plans Saturday morning.
Was working really hard with a friend of hers to do a fundraiser. She would not have missed it, and she did miss it. She would not have missed that for nothing in the world.
Some family members tell me the first thing that comes to mind after a tragedy like this one.
My child, my children, you know. That's the first thing any mother thinks about is, what if that was me?
And you're now getting a closer look at the Caloosahatchee River where they found that white Dodge that belonged to Chelsea Green. I'm told that channel of water is actually only 10 feet deep. Now her body, it's been taken to the medical examiner's office for an autopsy and proper identification. There's also a GoFundMe account where all of the proceeds will go towards Chelsea's funeral and the family as well. Reporting in Fort Myers Shores, Malcolm Johnson, Fox 4, In Your Corner.
All right, thank you, Malcolm. News of Chelsea's death, a reality that many of her family and friends are still struggling to come to grips with tonight. Several of them gathering under the State Road 31 bridge where that accident happened, as Malcolm showed you, lighting candles in her honor as they deal with this unexpected loss. For In Your Corner's Katie Jones joining us from the scene with that part of the story now. Katie?
Well, Patrick, it has been a very somber day for friends, loved ones, even complete strangers who have been stopping by the scene all day to pay their respects for Chelsea and her family. You can see they've set up this memorial right here on the scene where they've been dropping off flowers, stuffed animals, and just kind words to Chelsea and her family. Now, there is a vigil scheduled for 7 o'clock tonight. There is expected to be a big crowd out here who are coming out to honor Chelsea and her memory, and we will have a full report on that coming up tonight on Fox 4 News at 10. For now, we are live in Fort Myers Shores. Katie Jones, Fox 4, In Your Corner.
All right, thank you, Katie. Rest assured, For In Your Corner will be there for that vigil tonight, and you can count on us to stay on top of this developing story and all of these developing stories happening in Southwest Florida on air and online on fox4now.com.
I'm in the Storm Patrol Center now with Jim Stein. Another quiet day in Southwest Florida. If you can get out there and maybe jump in the pool, tonight's the night to do it.
That sounds like a great idea. Still over 90 degrees in a lot of spots. A couple of clouds out there in the Zoontán sky cam, but nothing major. Although I'll say this, we may get 1 or 2 little showers in Lee County here in the next hour or so. As a matter of fact, we're using the power of 4 Doppler radars to show you a little bit of rain in the Gulf, kind of like we had yesterday evening, and 1 or 2 of these showers actually coming on shore. They're very, very small. You can see one that may brush Sanibel in the next couple of minutes. Here's one in Lee County, just north of Pine Island Road, real close to us at Fox 4. That's making its way into North Fort Myers. That doesn't have any lightning with it. It's a very small shower. And then that shower that's out in the Gulf of Mexico, going to move this over so you can get an idea, may brush Sanibel in the next couple of minutes. However, wetter weather is definitely in our forecast. I'm going to show you when it gets a lot wetter coming up.
A major development regarding an investigation that Fox 4 has been closely monitoring. The Department of Education now barring the Dunbar Community School in Fort Myers from registering new students for GED tests. This while the agency investigates a testing violation at the school. All of this comes after the mother of then Principal Charles Daly, who you see here's granddaughter, took a GED test during an unsanctioned day. She was reportedly given that GED test by a single proctor who was also on his phone during the exam and even left the student alone, each of which are violations. The district has since chosen to not renew the proctor's contract, while Charles Daly has since retired.
More money now on the table for any information that can help finally solve a murder case that's gone cold in Lehigh Acres. Nearly 2 years after Kyle Burtis' murder, his family is now offering a $3,000 reward for any tips that could lead to an arrest and conviction in this case. His body was found lying in this field in the area off Meadow Road and Lee Court back in August of 2013. If you have any information, you can call Crime Stoppers right now at 1-800-780-TIPS. 5 months later, Lee County Sheriff deputies continuing to investigate a Fort Myers woman's suspicious disappearance. Yesterday would have been Donna Chatterton's 47th birthday. Deputies say Chatterton's East Fort Myers home burned down just hours after she vanished in February, and they do suspect foul play in her disappearance. If you have any information that could crack this case, again, you don't have to give your name. You could get a reward. Call Crime Stoppers, 1-800-780-TIPS.
And coming up on Fox 4 News at 6, lost in translation, are Southwest Florida courts discriminating against people by not giving them enough translators? 4 in your corner working to get answers. Plus,
he was sort of climbing here like a monkey, and so he fell back here and hit his arm.
No monkey business here. The very real dangers your kids are facing from your backyard to the local playground and how to keep them safe this summer.
But first, we're sharing your views on a passionate debate over religion and guns. Should a Florida gun shop owner be able to ban people for their views on Islam? That's next.